Hi there everybody. I'd like to say a quick lesson on area of triangles, but this is not your typical area of triangles. This isn't half base times height. We are going to use a little bit of trigonometry to do this one. Alright, so this is a case of maybe you don't have the perpendicular height and you have other piece of information to support you in terms of doing it. So you need obviously two sides, and you will need obviously an angle inside. Alright, so what you're looking for is this A, B and C idea. Alright, so if I relate this over to this, you've got A, B and C. Alright, you'll notice it's two sides with the included angle in between them. Alright, so that's what you're looking for. You need to have A, B and C. And I will talk to you about a right angle triangle in terms of how that works. But essentially that's what we're after. So A, B and the angle in between. It doesn't have to be A, B and C, it can be any letters, but certainly two sides and an angle in between them. Alright, so looking at this particular question, finding out the area of it, obviously looking at it would be extremely difficult to figure out the area of that without having this rule. So you're going to do in a calculator a half times the two sides, which is A and B, and times by sine 32. Alright, so literally just writing that out. And again, it doesn't matter which A and B are, it really doesn't, because you're going to times the two together anyway. But obviously the angle that needs to be in between them. So you're going to half times 13 times 17 times by 32, sine 32, in a calculator, and it's going to give you 58.57 centimeters squared. All right. Okay with that? Good. So let's have a look. You may need to use a sine or cosine rule before being able to calculate the area of a triangle. So if you haven't done the sine rule and you haven't done the cosine rule, then you might want to skip this particular little bit and go back to look at that one first. But I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through it anyway for those people who have, and those people who obviously also want to kind of progress a little bit further. So here we've got three sides and a missing angle. All right. So if I'm going to work out the area of this triangle, then I need to know this side, so this angle in between these two. All right. Well, the only reason I know that this is cosine rule is because I've got all three sides, and I want this one. All right. It's because I don't have any angles at all to support me with using the sine rule. All right. So it's going to be cosine rule. So using the cosine rule, I'm going to get let A equals 6. Capital A, so the other one, and B is equal to 4 and C equals 5. And again, it doesn't matter what those are. And I'm going to have cos A equals, so here we've got, it goes B squared plus C squared minus A squared. So B squared plus C squared minus A squared over 2BC. Okay, so that's what you've got using the formula. Again, if you're not sure of that one or where that's come from, then please look at the lesson on cosine rule. All right, so this has come from the cosine rule lesson. So cos to the minus 1 of 0.125, and again, if you're not sure about cos to the minus 1, again, please look at the lessons on trigonometry as to why I'm doing cos to the minus 1, but essentially it's the inverse. So if I've got cos A and I want an angle, I'll always go and put in my calculator cos to the minus 1 of whatever that is to get to the angle itself, which gives me 82.819. Now that is the angle here. So I'm not done. This is just about trying to get this angle in between them. The area now is a half AB sine C. All right, so now I need to put all that in. So half AB times sine of that, and that's going to give me 9.92. And again, it's area, so centimeters squared. All right, so that was quite an awkward kind of question. Certainly the back end of a GCSE paper where they're going to start challenging those top grade 8, grade 9 students to see how bright they are and how much they've retained and how able they are to do questions like that. Okay, so please go to maths-school.co.uk. Obviously there's a bunch of questions on there for you to practice, but obviously if you need to kind of come back to the lesson and review it at any time, you obviously can do. Thanks for listening.